All right, statistics. It's going to be a short one today. Here we go. This is the last section in chapter 3, and it's on using all of these observational studies and experiments wisely. Like basically, once I've done all the work, I've gotten my sample, and then I decided whether to do an experiment or an observational study. Now I'm going to talk about what I can say about my results. Okay? Inference, two kinds of inference. Inference is what you get to say as a result of your study. There are two separate kinds of inferences we can make using concepts from this chapter. Both come with their own rule, or I guess with their own rules. The rule for inference about your population. Am I allowed to actually say anything about my entire population as a result of the way I took my sample? And the other one, the rule for inference about cause and effect. We've been talking about whether or not we can prove causation for a while now. Here we go. So rule number 1, inference about the population. Okay, you can only use the results from your sample, which is a smaller group from the population, of course, to make an inference about the population if you took an appropriate random sample. If you didn't take an appropriate random sample from the population, then you can't do it. If you took an appropriate random sample from your entire population, when you can, we sometimes say we can generalize our results to the entire population. Okay, you can only use results from your sample to make an inference about the population. You can only say, hey, I found this stuff out about my sample, so it's got to be true about the whole population if you took an appropriate random sample. If you did, then how we say it is that our results generalize to the population. That's what that whole paragraph means. Rule number 2, the inference about causation, or cause and effect. You can only use your results to make an inference about cause and effect if you use an experiment, not an observational study, where you randomly, once you got your sample, then again you use random stuff, you randomly assign individuals to treatment groups. So the only way I can talk about something causing something else is if I did a legit, completely randomized experimental design. Okay, so if I took a good sample, I can say true stuff about the population. If I did an experiment, I can say stuff about cause and effect. So we'll go to example on feeling sleepy here, right up here at the top of page 246. The headline of a recent article declared, "Study, teens getting less sleep. Social media could be a reason." Using random samples of teens from 1991 and 2012, had to yawn there, the study found that teens are getting less sleep than they did 20 years ago. For example, just over half of 15-year-olds reported at least 7 hours of sleep in 1991. But yet only 43% of 15-year-olds reported that much sleep in 2012. So 50% were getting 7 hours of sleep or more back in the day. Less than 50%, 43, are getting that much sleep in 2012. Part A, can the results of the study be generalized to all teens in this time frame? Well, if I want to generalize to the population, I got to take a legit random sample. So go back up here and it said using random samples. So my answer is going to be yes, because they used random samples. If I used a random sample, I can say something true about the population. Part B, based on the study, is it reasonable to say that the use of social media is the cause of reduction in sleep? My answer here is going to be no, because I didn't do any treatment. This is an observational study. No, because the teens weren't randomly assigned to social media or assigned to avoid using social media. That would be treatments in an experiment. All right, so there's the only thing you need to learn today is whether you can say something about the population because of random sampling or something about causation because of treatments in an experiment. Go to the next page and you'll see what I'm talking about. Here we go. On page 246 and 247, there's an example at the bottom. Comment on whether you can make an inference about the population. There's one thing. And whether you can make an inference about causation, there's the other thing. So read 246 and 247, answer those 4 questions, and we'll do another video.